Moon, 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 moon. Remember when mummies were just this simple? Unfortunately, we're not talking about this type of mummy. So, here's my review of The Mummy, the 2017 version. Stay tuned. I'm not going to be dressed like this for the entire review. Thank the Lord, because it's hot in here. So let's change that. There. That's better. And be sure to stay tuned, because the mummy may return. So, you guys know how there's a whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then there's the DC Extended Universe, and then there's also the Monster Universe that includes like Godzilla and King Kong that was recently announced. So, now let me introduce you to the Dark Universe. And The Mummy is the very first movie of this Dark Universe. And in this Dark Universe, there'll be like Dracula, Frankenstein, and Wolfman, and all those type of different creatures. So, now it's time to find out if this universe has gotten a decent start or if it's already starting to fall through the cracks. So The Mummy stars Tom Cruise as Nick Morton and then Annabelle Wallis as Jenny Halsey. And Sophia Boutella plays the Mummy. And in The Mummy, Tom Cruise and his buddy Chris Vail, played by Jake Johnson, comes across this tomb. And in that tomb, they find the Mummy. And since they wake up the Mummy, they both get cursed, one more than the other. However, since they are cursed, they have to try and stop the Mummy to end the curse. First off, I thought multiple scenes were kind of seemed like they were almost shot as if they were a horror film, which I personally really enjoyed those scenes, because some of them, but not unfortunately not all of them, kind of hit this level of intensity, but then the other ones kind of just fell, and there wasn't a whole lot of tension or anything like that. However, those scenes that did, I felt like hit that intensity mark, were pretty good. And then also there were laughs sprinkled throughout the entire movie, and I thought they were actually pretty decent jokes, and they were delivered well, and I couldn't help but laugh at the majority of them. So I thought the jokes were definitely on its side. I would say I enjoyed about the first 30 to 40 minutes of this, somewhere around there. And unfortunately, that's when it starts getting a little weird. Because I don't know if this happened in the other Mummy movies because I haven't seen them personally. And so this is my first Mummy movie. For instance, I didn't really understand Russell Crowe's part of the movie. I found his character to be kind of just weird, and I didn't really understand where his character necessarily fit with part of his character. I got part of it, the other part I'm like, what's going on? Like, is this going to be explained later? It doesn't, by the way. So I don't know if that's explained in the other movies or not, even though this is a reboot, so probably not. And then as the movie continued along, I still didn't really get to like it as much as I did at first. Because the ending, I felt like it just got kind of weird. And I understood it, but I felt like it really didn't leave me satisfied. And then the Mummy. The Mummy, I thought it looked fine. I didn't have any problems with the look of a mummy, but it doesn't look a whole lot of Mummy, especially her friends that she ends up getting to help her, basically, because they honestly reminded me of more of zombies than mummies, and I feel like they were supposed to be more mummy-like, but not only was the mummies look not a whole lot mummified. I guess to the movie's credit, it was mummified, but then as it progressed, it got less mummified, which I'm more okay with. However, the mummy really didn't do a whole lot, and I found that disappointing because there just wasn't a whole lot that the mummy actually did itself. This movie is told to be like about 2 hours, but by the end of the movie, I was like, man, that went by really fast. And I checked my phone to see what time it was, and I realized I only saw like an hour and 35 minutes basically of a movie. So the credits literally take up 20 to 25 minutes of the movie. I'm like, holy crap, there's a lot of people that have made this movie. And don't bother sticking around, by the way, because there's no after credit scene, even though this is a new universe, but they specifically said that's Marvel's territory. So in the end, I enjoyed about like the first third of the movie, The Mummy. And after that, it kind of gets a little weird and goes in a different direction that I personally would have liked. So I think I'm going to give The Mummy a low 5 out of 9. And this is because it focuses a little bit too much on the setup of the Dark Universe rather than the whole mummy aspect. And I much preferred the parts that was actually the setup of the mummy rather than the Dark Universe. But on Rotten Tomatoes, the mummy is currently sitting at a solid 20%. And the average critic score is a 4.3. So, not the greatest, but yeah, it's really not great. So I decided to go back to this. But thank you all for watching. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like this kind of content and would like to see more. And don't be afraid to share, because it totally helps out my channel. So thank you all for watching, and God bless you all.